All right, so here online, moving into the community center, turn it over to you.
Thanks so much. It's good to be here with everybody today. I look forward to this every year. This is a great thing to be a part of, learn from, and continue to go forward with. I want to start by thanking y'all for everything that y'all were able to afford us last year. Our brand new software is about to roll out in the next week or two, ahead of summer registration. We've done a lot of good things this year, and I'm very thankful for what, we've been able to do with what y'all have been able to provide us. I don't have much, in the way of our standard line items to add to this cycle. Just a few increases that may be able to be afforded by, reduction in another line or two. I know that as we go forward with the software, the initial startup year is, where everything's being built and nitpicked and tailored and suited, that does go down each recurring year, or it goes down and then it stays at that price. So that maybe, some of these things can come out of that. With the new addition, to the gym with the HVAC, I did not know that it was going to be gas, propane heat. Turns out that it is. I'm not even sure if, Billy or Aaron to do that, but it is, and that's what it is. So the money that we, had allocated to purchase propane went very quickly this year when it gets running. But it is a very, very nice addition, and I think the added benefit of making us a full shelter, is paramount. And the time that we got to open it, I think that was a good crash course in how to do so. But I think a little bit, more needs to be allocated towards keeping that fuel going so that we're not having to scrape it out of other places. And then just a very small increase just to keep up with the rising cost of, departmental supplies covering, balls and bats and, jerseys and whatever else we need to purchase for participants and things like that. And then just a little bit more in the way of providing employees something to wear that, identifies us, stands us out from the, people that walk in and, see us and know who they're looking for when they can see, the emblem on the shirt, community center across, somebody's shoulder or something like that. And then maybe just if we are able to find a slight bump to maybe get some more things painted in the center to kind of, make the lipstick go a little further on the old gym in there. The rest of the walls inside the building look great, and that's holding up very well. And people are commenting on that, and they know, and they are appreciative that y'all were able to help us get that done. The gym would be a larger undertaking, but somewhere in kind with what was done throughout the rest of the building this past year. So that's really all I have for things like that. I'm coming to you today, with the best begging shoes that I have, in the way of trying to see if there's anything we can do to figure out to get more part-time help. Just over the last 2 months, we were running on one when, we usually have two, but could use many more than that. I've reached out to other departments, in the area. I know some are a lot bigger than us, some are a little bigger than us, and some are, the same size. And what I was able to find is, what I remember being true in my past experience, from another county. The recreation departments are like anything else, but they're set up like a pyramid. You should have more part-time staff than you have full-time. They should, do all the work that you spent your day preparing for when the evenings and nights and weekends rolls around. I think that, if I know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I know we can't just add, 12 people or something outlandish like that, but, 1, 2 would be monumental in helping us move forward. When I got to the community center, almost 5 years ago, right after COVID and everything had been shut down, and there was nothing going on. We weren't doing anything. And that was the largest staff that I had. It was 7 of us at that time. And immediately after starting, I lost one and was not able to fill that position due to the influx in costs from the state that raised everybody to 15 hours. So I was told that that depleted the funds and I was going to stay at 2. But anyway, we added programs, we added this, added that, built as we could. Prior to COVID, there was only 3 sports for youth that the community center offered, and now we do 7. And that's a great asset. And hopefully that stays and hopefully that builds, as people want things and, other things fall popular, new things. But that being said, we need a little bit of help, getting through the day. You can just go look at timesheets and see what we're all doing. I mean, it's a lot. And, in the last 2 months being down, one of the 2 part-timers we had, everybody was in the 40s, when they're supposed to be 37.5-hour employees. I don't mind doing the extra, I'm fine for it, but it's starting to get to the point where it's hurting a little bit. We need a little bit of help
So,
just to get on.
can I ask about that?
Yes, sir.
I do have some questions about this. So,
Okay.
who do you have that's full-time? Yourself, guy?
No, myself, Robert Paris, Jawan Rivik, and Connie Wolf.
So, those guys are full-time, couple you just mentioned, one of them's now a football coach.
Mhm.
One of them's a track coach, and one of them does some type of contracted training out of the school facility though.
Right.
They're full-time also here, they're not duplicating this, right? So they get off work and then go do those jobs separately?
Mhm.
Okay, so they're full-time, all right.
Yes, sir.
I just want to make sure, because
Yeah.
I've been asked that question by more than one person. So, well, I see them over
Yeah.
at the football field, and my daughter's on track team, so I know one of them's the track coach in the afternoon. So they're working evenings, I guess. They have a split day, work mornings, they go over there, then split the evening.
Come in earlier than they had,
That's
get it done. I mean, that was the conversation I had, first and foremost. I'll be behind you in whatever you want to do, as y'all have always been behind me, but you have to do this right. And they have every intention of doing so. I mean, their overall goal is just to provide what they can for the county. And whether it's kids playing on a team at high school or kids, adults, seniors, whatever, coming through our building, they don't care.
Yeah, I had concerns about that, I'm not gonna lie. I had big concerns about
That's,
the viability of somebody doing a job working for the school and then also working for the county separately.
Sure.
And there not being duplication. I know our sheriff department got some big issues, stuff like that a few years ago. And
oh, yeah,
I don't see it as running again.
not gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm just
Like,
saying.
I understand your concern. I really do. And this is a conversation that's had on this weekend. If this needs to happen, you gotta clock out.
Oh, so they do time cards?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we have
That's
those.
good, yeah.
Yeah, they have the facial recognition.
I think we were one of the first to get it.
Okay.
If you can't clock in for your friend, you gotta be there.
Oh, it's got,
That's not a business.
and I'm not gonna put anything in that somebody didn't do.
No, that's
Yeah, I mean-
interesting. Yeah, that's, I love that.
Fuel wise, so you
Yes.
brought part about propane, I get it, look, with the
Yeah.
new system, you don't know what it's gonna cost or whatever.
Yeah.
This was an exceptionally cold winter, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So you really think it's gonna go, when did the system go online?
Just before Thanksgiving. So November, clicked it on, and ran for everything from the, and we had it set reasonably low, 62, 63, unless there was something going in.
Yeah,
Well, unless there was something going on in there, like, senior Thanksgiving lunch, was one of the first things we actually turned it on and ran for. And all they could say was, wow, it was so quiet without those old ones running.
yeah.
I'm like, well, does it feel good? And yes, it's the answer. I mean, very efficient, works well, but yeah.
Changing subjects, the
Sure.
cosmetic repairs for 10,000, we plan on doing the 10,000. What, I mean, that's not a terrible lot of money, but just curious.
No, that's what I was told it would cost to paint.
So that's really what's the paint job.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of work there.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Sioux State Gym.
I was gonna say that's fine.
You couldn't hire me to do 10,000, wouldn't
I-
get me to look.
I think the majority of it's prep work probably, because,
And that may change, that's just,
Is that in addition to the 8 that was budgeted?
no.
Not sure, or is this?
It's an increase.
the last one cost about 7,
Okay, all right.
and that's what I was told he'd be able to do it for.
So it's not the whole $10,000 because he's last year.
I think it's an increase of 2,000, right? That's, okay.
Yes.
The new one.
Sorry if I put that in.
So for the uniform stuff, so you guys don't have to wear uniforms or anything. I mean, so you're talking about like getting like shirts or something that just say Gates County Community Center or something, and have that in the uniform of the day?
Right, and what we've done in the past, I mean, rec departments, everybody's branded, you all, wear things, but what we've done in the past is we've utilized Johnson Name Sports, and what Bob Turner does for us is create a store and then we just buy it ourselves. So,
Okay.
I mean, it works, but it would be nice to have something.
Pretty yearly.
Yeah.
The same thing.
We just buy,
to
in
know.
fact, we have uniforms, so like Brad's crowd, they need uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not-
They have service.
This is
clean
a-
everything.
T-shirt or a
For
sweatshirt.
us, my office guys, we actually have t-shirts, we buy them from a guy actually from Gates County that operates out of Smithfield. And he prints them for us, and they're like $25 a piece, and we get three a year
Yeah,
for the office staff to wear, if they choose to wear it in my office.
and to be honest, we've, for uniform, or, sports uniforms, we've been, using, EH Design, or, EH Designs there in Mary Hill, and they
He
give.
wants to be, because I live next door to them.
You're the delivery guy.
They move, exactly.
I always
They're-
Google this tags, but anyway,
I guess my perspective, what I'm getting at is I support it if it's mandatory, buy them shirts that would say Gates County Community
Right.
Center. Like they have them all red, I mean, I think that's personally great
Yeah.
for the parents. Have them all red with Gates County, I think that's good, have them all red shirts, that's good, they identify if somebody needs help out at the ball
I
field.
love the idea
Okay,
of buying, yeah.
Buy 3 shirts a year.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done the same thing with coaches shirts. In fact, we've made them all the same color, so that when people are outside or in the gym, they know what color
You know,
to
holler.
look for the shirt. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so like that's
Additional
traditional.
part-time. What type of duties are you looking for those type of folks to fulfill for you?
Anything from the, sweeping floors, cleaning bathrooms, to taking registrations, answering phone calls, helping move equipment, helping, Rob or Jawan or whoever hang nets, put up volleyball stands, whatever the case is, move pitching mounds.
Is this
anything.
just to sustain current hours or to extend hours? Cause I've heard the conversations about like adding new people so that you can extend hours, or is it just to sustain the hours you have?
That would be the goal.
Okay,
I would like to get to where we can open back in the mornings at 5:30.
me too.
I would like to get, a little bit of Saturday hours, and in doing my due diligence with everybody around, I can't find anybody that's open on Sundays, so that's a blessing. I would not like to open on Sundays.
I think for folks, it's like every other Saturday, every third Sunday or something.
Is that
I
what they
think so, yeah.
I know, I have a buddy in Greenville, works for Greenville Recreation, and they rotate each quarter or whatever, what center is open for a couple hours on Sunday. So it's not, but they have.
Stephanie has Sunday hours, I remember that.
Northern Solon does not. Elizabeth City does not, Prairie does. Those are the three that I've been in the most
Yeah, one
communication.
of them does that,
Right.
for some reason.
I'm curious about like because you mentioned teams, so obviously like down here you have basically higher teams, which means
Yeah, I'd like
2
to-
hours of hours.
Well, I'd like to see if there's some kind of thing that maybe we can set up in the future with, maybe label them as interns, but, kind of hire them and pay them so that when they graduate, the ones that are interested in sport management, park and
You
recreation,
have some history.
tourism management, they can come in, work for the summer, deal with camps, deal with,
Yeah.
clinics, senior related stuff, whatever it is, learn those things.
I'll be honest, I'm
they go off
reluctant to add part-time staff. We just had a discussion about a couple of people taking part-time jobs somewhere else. If it was a year later, I'd need support of it. I'm hesitant, I should say I'm against adding part-time jobs right now. When we had 2 people that are full-time employees and now have part-time jobs doing other stuff other places.
Well,
I'll say in justification of that, we've had times where I've worked full-time and I've worked a part-time job because sustainability for my family, we needed additional income. So I worked a 40-hour week and then I would go work a 20-hour week at that other job because I needed.
That's the.
I mean,
Well, my point is, there's staff saying, okay, I'm doing my 40, my full-time, I'm fulfilling my duties. That's the part. If you're working and fulfilling your duties with your full-time, if you have a part-time, that's on you. What you do is, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but my problem is we haven't described any change in service or anything else that something requires additional manpower. And to me, it's like, you need to show something additional is being done, not trying to recover something else. I almost feel like if.
Well, I think
Maybe extra.
Well, that's fine. It's about
Yeah.
hours. He's talking about extending hours, doing different things like that. So that would require
And
different.
we have way more program offerings than when I got there, so. I mean,
So who takes care of like the yard maintenance and that type of stuff? Is it our maintenance
Sprinklers,
breakers, but is it, okay, they do that, but does that fall under Norris's responsibility? Does that fall under the county's, maintenance?
isn't it building grounds?
So, playground, that's all.
Yeah, building grounds.
I mean, he's got a lot of ground space that has to be taken care of, and that's why I was kind of
Well,
wondering.
cutting the grass and weeding and stuff like that's done through a contract. But
So the track that goes all around the school and everything else, that's my pet peeve, because I've used it, the leaves built up on the fence have been there now for the last few years, they didn't used to be there, somebody used to blow them on. And I know that causes the bottom of fences to rust away, and so who's responsible? That's over the school's property now, who has ownership of that?
well,
I hate to do it, what since it's division, that y'all come out of the school system,
yeah,
it's like, well, they're doing it.
well, no, it was never, to my knowledge, it was never them, but I mean, in between Brinkley coming, we blow them. I mean, you can, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you have your opinion, and that's
I walked in,
completely fine.
pushed down the other day with, I'm trying to remember who I was walking with, and pushed down the leaves and said, look out, and there was, a lot of fences were that high.
Just, if we're having a contractor do that type of stuff, we just, make sure you say something to them, because Karen has, frankly, do her.
But sometimes I don't know what I can say.
Yeah.
And what's in the contract?
And who I'm supposed to go through in order
I mean,
to say-
or is it
So
something
who's the
that-
contracting officer? I think,
Well, that's Crystal, and the way it was bid was on a per visit basis. And that was typically full service, trimming, cutting and blowing, but to do blowing in between. Seems to me that's something we could do in-house with.
Well, yeah, but I don't think it's really that, and it's a lot of, like, seasonal maintenance type stuff that I kind of see, right? And it's, where Brinkley's, you gotta stay on top of it as far as, hey, I want you to do this. And
And
that's,
that's what Crystal, being Crystal is the one that calls them in and gets it done.
that's one thing, is we have to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
so it makes it tough on him as administrator of the community center. If he has somebody else in the organization that has to oversee a contract, that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, it's
I
like-
can't go and tell the contractor.
I'll do whatever.
I can fully appreciate saying, I don't know what I can say. Yeah,
Well, you should be calling Crystal and saying, Crystal, they're not doing good enough along here, or I see they need to do this, can you ask them to do it? If she says, well, that's not their current contract, then the town, it sounds like.
we need
that's
to
what you
renegotiate.
should-
Well, and on that note, I have asked about things, hey, is this in there? And I've been told, well, I'll find out.
Yeah. And that's,
So that's a management problem, we can take care of that.
Okay. I say that's not really budget-esque necessarily, so,
A good discussion.
yeah.
yeah, I'm more of a discussion as far as, is it, if it wasn't in their contract, we need to bump it up to get it in there.
Well, I felt like it used to be, but I don't know if there was some kind of change of hands.
That's my perception. A few years ago, it was along that fence line, it was really nice all the time.
Yeah,
And that's,
and we go out to the playground a little bit, hit the tennis courts off a little bit, but that's,
no, I mean, that's about it. That's why I'm more concerned about, is it in their contract or not, and who's doing it? So if it's something that needs to be.
and that's something that we need to do, by all means, let's.
Yeah,
I would love
Let's
for
get
you
it
to
down.
feel like you can at the very least call up to me strongly advocating to the contracting official
I
to
agree.
please do this or please do that.
Strongly
Yeah,
advocate.
that's why we see him act pissed off and say, can you please get this done?
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
Do we have any other
Yeah,
questions?
thank you, yeah, anything.
All right. Give me 1 second here.